Yes, Jeet Singh was supposed to be here with me. We were going to discuss about this because this project was jointly done with us and the forest department. And so Swati said that okay, you just come and present what you have done for that particular area, the Warje Hill that we are talking about. This project, I will request you to see it slightly differently. Don't look at this as a project. Look at this as uh, a process that we went through in convincing the government that what should be done and how it can be done. Because the government department is altogether a different kind of a different system which is there, and it's not their problem. They are in a way that the situation have made them, and that's why they also think in a particular way. So we had to take a lot of pains and sometimes even put a foot down that okay, no, don't think that way, slightly look at it in a different way. And also this project is we prepared the map or the plans. At the end of it, we implemented the project a bit on the ground first, discussing with them, and then we prepared the plan. So it's slightly in a different way that this entire project has just gone. Uh, okay, this is slightly the theoretical part of the project that we did. Initially, at the beginning, we did the analysis of this area that we are talking about. That's the Warje Hill at a regional level, city level, area level, and site level. Because what we personally feel is that whatever interventions you make at a micro level, that has to have reasons that you have to answer at a macro level, that you get those answers at a macro level, and whatever decisions you take at a macro level has to translate something that you do on a micro level. So this to and fro between the various scales is very important when you're dealing with projects that are related to the systems of a city. Even if it is a transportation system you're talking about, or urban planning you're talking about, or whatever it is, here we're talking about how we can develop that particular area. That way, this project was uh, very simple because the government department had already knew what they want to do. The only thing is that somebody had to tell them whether they are doing it rightly, or it needs to reorganize in a way that best suits the development of that particular area. So anyways, so that's the whole thing about. And then we also say, as I explained you right now, that whatever you do has a relationship to various scales that are there. Like a regional level, if you're talking, if you have to choose a plant species, now I'm not a landscape architect definitely, but I can decide on the typology of a plant that I want to propose in an area, because I'm addressing certain issues, and these issues are not related to just to environment but also to human beings. Because one question we definitely asked ourselves when the government department approaches that we want to have a park in this area, so we asked that to ourselves, what are we going to really do, and for whom we are going to do it. So these are the basic questions we started asking, and we got the answers that this particular park that we are talking about is just not for conservation of that particular area, but it's also for the human beings that is there. It's a kind of a symbiotic relationship that one has to develop. And the roots of this thought that came to me for this particular project goes to the project that I presented last time in the workshop which was there. That was a project in Bhutan that I did, and it was of a similar nature where the marshland was there, and the government wanted to develop that entire area for people as a city park, because there's a lot of pressures on land which is there, because it's very difficult to find flat land in Bhutan. And there we try to then overlap all those layers on above each other and see how we can go about with this. So this is something related to that. So it was very clear that the aim of the proposal is to enhance the environmental quality of Warze and to offer citizens a place of passive recreation. Here we were very cautious about what we want to do, step by step. Are we doing? We are questioning ourselves. So either we are going in the right directions or we are making any mistakes. So these kind of things which are there. So then we set our objectives and how we can integrate all those kind of things. So before we decide what we really want to do, sometimes you have to go from a larger scale to a smaller scale. So we went on the site a lot of time with the government officials, with our office persons, and then we used to sit on the site, see what can we do, what is to be done, what are the challenges which are there. So it was an evolution of an idea. So this is the location of the site over there, which is very near to the Muta river, and there's a wonderful view of Siagat Fort as well as Nanded city. And this site, number 6 that you see over here, is a part of a larger system that is there exist in Pune. Everybody knows that the hills that are there on the western side. So this was a very important bearing for us. If we are going to do any kind of interventions over here, it's going to have a ripple effect that is going to go on to other parts of the hills which are there. So that's why we just understood, okay, we need to look at it very cautiously. When you zoom down to at a smaller scale, this is the Ganpati. Thank you. Okay, this is the Ganpati Mata Mandir over here. So this is the road that goes towards NDA, and then you enter over here. This road is very narrow, and there are a lot of I won't say slums around this side, and this entire area is about 25 hectares. But about 8 to 7 hectares of a land is still under litigations. It's been encroached by people and so on and so forth. So we prepared a proposal for that entire area. Sorry. And in this side, there are about 8 quarries. You start from here, you go anti-clockwise, and this is the south. And we were told that this area is very dangerous. I said dangerous in terms of what? They said that this is the slum, and socially after 4 o'clock you really cannot visit this particular area. So this was a challenge which was there. So how to address this kind of social issues also into a design? I don't know. We were not probably completely able to address those issues, but still we try to do something on that. And then we did the climatic analysis, where the site is located, how the wind directions are there, the sun movement, and we said, okay, let's start moving towards this. I don't know what I want to do with this site, frankly speaking. I just said let's start moving towards how we can develop or have a process to that. And then we said, okay, we have a breeze direction which comes from the west, and you have the hills over here. So this is what the thing is. This is what the sun movement is, and so okay, fine. We'll have a lot of shadowing area on this side and more of exposed on this side. And also the quarries were on this on the northern side, which had a self-shadowing things which was there. And that was also very good because this was the northern part was the area where they want to prioritize of implementing the project. And then we went, and when we sat on the site for a lot of times we realized, okay, what are we able to see? What are the view lines within the site? From the site, what do we see? From outside, what do we see? So all these kind of things, we did the mapping of that, because ultimately, you know, you want to develop a place for people who want to enjoy this place. So it's more important that what are they going to really see? And the roots of this again goes back to, you know, this Chinese philosophy. Those those windows that you have, those Chinese windows, they are really a lot of things. It means a lot, and this is we said, okay, we want to enhance something and we want to close something. So we mapped all those things. This is what the present site situation is, and they already had actually dug up these areas. They had already constructed those ponds. This is already they had done this. So we actually came in a point where they had started about 5% of the work that they think that that's right and they want to do that. So this was already there. These are some of the photographs. This is the embankment they were doing, and then this is the pond they want to do. The spillover then goes into this pond over here, and then this is an island over here. So they took inspiration from Pashanding. So I said, fair enough. I will listen to whatever you are trying to tell me, and I'll see how I can integrate that into a comprehensive. This is towards north, and this is a very shabby view that we see. Shabby view in the sense, okay, I'm not talking about the architecture as such, but there are a lot of buildings which are there, and I don't want to see those buildings when I'm sitting in a park. So I want to camouflage that, and this is the existing Smruti one that they have proposed. The trees of this are supposed to grow up to a height of about 30 meters, because we're talking about banyan trees and those kind of things which are there. So I said, okay, fine, that will automatically get camouflaged. These are the views which are there, and from the national highway you see a lot of slums. This is what you see very less of about this particular hill. Some more views. Okay, this is looking towards the west. This is NDA over here, and I said, okay, this is something that we need to camouflage at a lower level, and we want to enhance it at a upper level. So these are kind of challenges I felt that need to be there. And then Sihagarh is seen at a very long distance somewhere there. So we overlapped all those views that we have, the internal views, the external views, what you see from, and then we'd see that, okay, what is the sense that it's trying to make? And then we did a small study as well, that what are the type of trees that we want to have. Now this is, I really don't know the name of the species, but I was able to decide the typology that I want to use for this particular site that can enhance the quality of environment over. So I said, I want trees, something which are at a height of 15 meters or 7 meters or 2 meters or whatever it is, maybe those textural quality. And then once we did all those kind of analysis, this is a zoning plan that I got. Now this is a derivative of what we were thinking about, the wind directions, the sun movements, and the views that we want to camouflage. And then we eventually came up with this diagram that I want to have big trees on this side. Now this big trees will camouflage the view of those slums which are on this side. Then these are small ornamental trees that I propose, because this is where the movement, maximum movement of the people are going to be there. So it's more of the smell, the texture that we're talking about should be in these particular areas. Small thorny trees were we proposed on this side, because this is the area where the encroachment of the slum was there. Then we had feature bushes onto this side. Now this is also where the movement is going to be the maximum, and these were the trees where I didn't want too much of a tall height, because I wanted to maintain the view of Sihagarh and NDA on the at a larger distance, but still want to hide those buildings which are this height. So maximum height I was talking about was 7 meters, and as there was a slope, I know that okay, if it full grows, it is definitely going to solve the purpose of mine. So we eventually, this is a derivative that we got with, and this was very convincing, because right from the beginning, the government department was pressurizing me that give me a proposal, give me a proposal, give me a plan, and I had to say no sir, you wait, I'll wait, because I had to change the way these people think about a particular project. They feel that this is a kind of a product that is there, and this is what is a problem that we professionals have to say, that you don't look at projects like this, even if it is an urban plan or anything, a landscape or environmental plan. It's a derivative of certain set of analysis. It's not a product. So ultimately, we were successful. Oh, my time is up. Sorry. Case studies, blah 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 blah. So we came up with this particular plan. Now this is a kind of a diagram again. This is not really a plan. It's like a diagram of whatever we tried to conceive in that areas, like a small island that we had proposed. We took inspirations from all across that were happening. Dr. Barucha has made a lot of research in this particular area, so we got inspired from what he has done. So those kind of things we all put together and we prepared this plan. And then we said that we have tried to address these issues at a macro level. What happens as we just to convince them, we try to relate this. If you're going to move on the loop, see how many of calories that you're going to burn if you walk with a pleasure walk or a brisk walking. But these kind of things we try to do, because ultimately they also have to, the government department also have to prove to somebody that whatever they are making makes sense, either to the people or their seniors or the ministers or whosoever it is. So we did all those kind of things. These are the few sections. The views that we wanted to confine, that I had discussed earlier. The views that I want to have, the longer views, the shorter views over there, the highest point, the pavilion that we need to have. These are kind of things that we did. And so now we were coming down to the point that, okay, we have made certain statements. Now we also have to deliver it at a micro level. So we also went into the level of how this, the pavilions will be, the what do you call, the children play areas will be. So all those kind of things we try to do. These are kind of, okay. These are kind of representative images which are there. This is not really which I have taken it from the adventure area that we had proposed near the quarries, or probably you can have the sculpture park which is there, harnessing the energies. And we try to design this. Now this is something that we start to sketch. Okay, if I have to really have the play equipments in the children play area, if I'm going to get them those typical steel sections, it's not going to really work. So this we sketched out in such a way that even if the children are not playing, these are kind of sculptures that will still be there. The birds will still feel that this is a place that they have to be there, either the woodpecker or whatever it is. This requires a lot of maintenance, but it's okay. If it's forest department, you can get the wood and you can have different designs after maybe 3 years, 3 months or 4 months or whatever it is. So we said that okay, and then they also asked that they loved this idea a lot, and they said that I want the details of all these things. So this was really a challenge that I had to take. What is the section that I want to have? What is the wood finish that I want to have? So all these things we did over there. And ultimately then we also showed them what will be the impact of this, because you're doing it, yes, you have to prove it to somebody, but ultimately this particular project is going to have an impact at an area level, at a city level, and at a regional level. At area level, it's probably the responsibility of the citizens. I'm just wrapping up. And then at a city level, it's kind of a contribution to the city, and at a regional level, it sets this thing of regional planning or whatever it is. Thank you.
Actually, more than a question, I mean, just a suggestion that I mean, it's an excellent plan that you made. I mean, quite different and innovative. So I saw the list of species that you had in that you had in mind. So is it possible if some of the exotic species could be replaced by indigenous species? So that will make a statement, because I believe it's a forest area, reserve forest area. So it would be a good idea if you can use totally indigenous species.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that's what later on actually, just a small extension
like
to that.
Bougainvillea, and also I'm sure you can find like equivalent native species, and there's so much expertise in our city about native species. I'm sure you can make use of that.
Yes, definitely. When we went on the site and we were just trying to tell them, there were a lot of people from the forest department who suggested indigenous species to them. I said that, yes, I don't know the names of that. Bougainvillea was something that definitely came up. I said, I want how it looked like, what is going to be the height of it, what is going to be the texture of it, what's going to be the color of it is more important for me. And indigenous definitely makes a lot of sense, because that adds value to the ecosystem that we want to eventually conserve. That's
a kind of statement that the forest department can make.
Yes. And there are people who have wonderful knowledge about trees, and they have suggested me that. I mean, I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Because we should visualize a model.
Yes.
Which will give greenery and colors around the year.
Yes, right.
I have shortlisted 50 trees for Pune, all indigenous and valuable.
Right.
I can pass on that list to you.
I'll be happy to have that, sir.
Out of that you can make a choice. Then another projection which should be made as a part of the project is how much carbon dioxide will be sequestered and oxygen released every year. That projection should be done. And it's possible to do it.
Yes, definitely. Definitely, sir. I'll come back to you.